GMAP1.com. That's GMAP, the number 1.com. I am here live right here and right now with one of our featured children's authors. Krystal Evans is on the line. Good afternoon, Krystal. How you doing?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful, wonderful. How are you?
Oh, please, if you have to ask me, I must be slipping. Stop it. You know I am fantabulous, and you know I apologize to you dearly, but I guarantee you I'm going to try to find a way to make up for it. I'm going to have you do a second follow-up conversation with us live so we can make sure we get it all together and get it out there right. But in the meantime, I'm not going to procrastinate. I know time is of the essence. I want you to simply do me a favor. I want you to come on and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Who is Krystal Evans, if you don't mind sharing?
I am Krystal Evans, and I'm originally born in Detroit, Michigan. And 29 years ago, ooh, that sounds like a long time.
Ah!
I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I am a STEM coordinator, a teacher. I am also an author, and I also run a nonprofit called STEM Stations. I'm
Mm.
also a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. Ooh, that of four.
Ah! You know, you are cracking me up because she said, "Ooh," you know, and of course, I am going to let you know that we will be having a sincere conversation in detail in the very near future about your nonprofit organization because I want the people to know about it. Okay, and I
Yeah.
think it's going to be important. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the latest children's publications that you have available. And I know one of them being I Am Saying the Scientist, my STEM journal, of course. And you know, we cannot forget about the Super School Pets. Tell us a little bit about how it all began for you. I mean, where did it all start? What gave you the focus, the encouragement, the inspiration to go ahead and dive into writing these publications?
So, my very first book I wrote in 2012 is called The Dream. Being a teacher, teaching fifth grade at the time, we were studying about the civil rights movement, and several of the students said when we read a section in the textbook that said there were riots in Detroit and LA, my students said, "Aren't you from Detroit? What happened?"
Mm.
And I knew about the riots, and I'm going to be honest, I was very young then. And so it gave me the idea to research it some more because I had those students, once they have that idea and that light bulb comes on, you really have to dive in with that.
Mm.
And so what I did was I did research. I talked to my mom, my aunts, and I found some very interesting stories. And so I wrote a historical fiction book based on the life of a 12-year-old girl who moved from Georgia to Detroit in the 60s. And in the 60s, I'm sure you know that
Mm.
a lot of people moved to Chicago,
Yeah.
Detroit for
Yeah.
the steel factories, the car factories. And in the story, her dad moved them to Detroit and she longed to go back home. And then at some point, the riots happened and it was right down on the corner from where she lived. And
Yeah.
she talks about the experience. So it was really, and the students loved it. It brought that history to life for them.
Right. I am saying the scientist. Let's talk about that.
I Yes, I am saying the scientist came about because I was teaching science, and one girl said in the classroom, "I'm going to be a scientist." And a boy said to her, "Girls can't be scientists." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And that's what she said too. And that brought on Sand the Scientist. Sand the Scientist is about, it's a book for boys and girls, but it encourages girls to who are interested in science to not be afraid to do it. And in the book, Sand goes up against this boy who
Mm.
says this to her in the science fair, and some funny things happen. So it's educational, it's funny, and it just brings to life some of the different things that students and kids can learn about science and just make it fun.
Right. Now, is my STEM journal a part of that, or is just something completely in addition to?
So as I traveled around doing book signings for I Am Sam the Scientist, several kids and adults said, my kid really loves to do science and STEM, but we just don't know what to do. What kinds of things can we do? And so in turn, that's why I wrote my STEM journal.
Mm,
It has 15 different activities that deal with STEM and science that students or kids and their parents can do and fully enjoy with things that they have at home. Things like creating a lava lamp,
right.
things like being able to build towers with toothpicks and marshmallows,
Mm,
and there's two recipes in there to make slime, and I also show kids how to create animated movies. So it's
right.
all kinds of fun STEM things.
So you make me want to go back to being a kid. My God. Ooh, and of course, I cannot forget and will not forget about the super school pets. Tell me about it.
Well, the Super School Pets again came about from my students. I was teaching, and I had I have a pet turtle, and the kids, he stayed at school, and they said, what do you think he does at night? And so me and a co-teacher decided they're going to find a fun way of doing that. So we went to getting them interested in writing with this. So she had a guinea pig, I had a turtle. We took them around the school and took pictures of them. Um, in the library, in the gym, standing at the front door, in the teachers' lounge, reading a book. And so from there, we had our custodian come in, and he said, "You ladies have to get control of those pets. They're everywhere. I sent you an email." And so we showed the pictures to the students, and we had them write what they thought the pets did
Uh,
when all left the school. Well, from there, I decided let's go ahead and write a book about it. So the Super School Pets is about what happens when the students and the teachers leave and the pets take over and
wow.
run.
You getting me excited over here. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, I'm just excited. Once again, if you don't know, now you know. Krystal is one of our featured authors, our featured children's authors, and I'm guaranteeing you that we are going to definitely be doing a follow up because I want to make sure that we can get in detail and talk more about what she's doing in addition to the publications. Now, Krystal, I know you've explained in a little bit about what's yet to come, so to speak. But when you look back over your journey from where you began and where you are right now, I know you have some things in store. But let me ask you, literally, what's next for you?
Well, what's next? I'm working on a really nice book called Create Christina Creates Chaos.
Mm,
And I'm working with a very wonderful illustrator from Benin, Africa, and just an amazing is her name, and she's absolutely wonderful. And Christina Creates Chaos is a new book about a young lady who loves to read, but she tries to get out of doing her chores and her work at home in order to get into her room to so she'll be able to read. And so when they asked her to wash the dishes, somehow dishes are all over the
huh,
floor, or she uh, overfloods the washing machine, and they always say, "Hey, Christina, go to your room," and she's happy to go in there. And then they find
right.
out why she's happy to go in there. But I'm not going to give the whole story away. That book and all my other ones will be available later this month on Amazon, and all my other books are available on Amazon right now.
Well, and of course, you are going to keep me posted, little old me. You're going to keep me posted on the release of that. And of course, we want to be able to share that information with all of our viewers, our family and friends. And I want to be able to make sure that they are aware of everything that you're doing in the upcoming new year, new season is what I call it. And I want you to make sure that you can keep me informed. I want you to be sure to let me know what you're doing, when you're doing it, where you're doing it, all that great stuff, so I can share that with our viewers. And listen, now, if someone, in fact, wanted to reach out to you, talk to you, and just find out some more intimate information and details about what you have going on, is there some contact information you don't mind sharing?
Oh, yes, I have plenty of contact information. So I have a Facebook page that's author Krystal, and it's Krystal with a K, Krystal Evans. I'm also on Instagram, and I have a website, and it's company dot authorkrystalevans.com. And so they can also send me an email at authorkrystalevans@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to be in touch. I love talking to going to schools and talking to students, even virtually. I've done
Mhm.
that. And even just talking to individual students who love to read, who are interested in reading and also interested in writing.
Uh,
So in those ways.
well, I'm definitely going to ask you, are you willing to come back and visit us again? Because I have some more details that I want to be able to discuss, and I don't want to be placed in a situation to where I feel like I'm being rushed to do it. So I want to get back and have you invite you back and just take our time and go a little bit more into detail about what you're doing as far as your nonprofit, your publications that you currently have out, as well as the ones that you intend to release, and how people can definitely be a part of what you're doing. So I'm making that invitation wide open to you right here, right now. Now the record button is on, Krystal. So is it okay if I invite you back? I'm gonna use this. As they say, don't say a word, because every word can be held against you. So can I can I invite you back?
Of course, you can invite me
All
back.
right, all
I
right.
would love to come back, and I definitely want to talk to you about my new nonprofit, STEM Stations, where we're working to help young people get into careers that have to do with STEM, and some of them involve college, and some of them don't at all. There's
Mm,
lots of things out here that young people can do, and that doesn't it's not going to cost you the rest of your life to pay it off.
yeah,
So we're helping young people move to different levels in their lives.
yeah. And you know what? I am I am following you and behind you and support that 100%. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being your patience and taking time out to be here with us today, and of course, accepting the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family. Once again, Krystal is one of our featured children's authors. All you got to do is stop by our broadcast network site, GMAP1.com. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Children's Authors. And of course, you'll see a copy of all of her publications there. Click on either one of them, and it'll take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about who she is and what she's doing. Now, I didn't have much time to mention about the dream, the dream, a civil rights story, but we're going to talk about that on the reround, on the repeat. So I just want you to know I appreciate you. I thank you, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you and talking with you again live here on the air, GMAP, again very soon. So I'll be reaching out to you and touching base with you real soon, okay?
All right. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Oh, please, thank you. And I appreciate your patience and I appreciate your kindness. And I want you to continue to be blessed and be a blessing. And don't forget, I want you to have a fantabulous rest of your day. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one of our featured children's authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network site, Krystal Evans, and of course, we'll be looking forward to hearing from her very soon. In the meantime, you all have a blessed day. Be blessed, be a blessing, and don't forget, stay encouraged. Keep God first in your life. You cannot and will not ever, ever go wrong. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, Krystal. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right.